the Turkish Delight Show with your girl, Turkish Delight Sev. So this week's episode, I'm going to be discussing how to maintain a healthy relationship. And I have here special guest,
Miss Lydia Rose.
Yes. All right, so I'm going to go into it. I'm just going to start.
Okay.
Yeah. I personally feel one of the most important aspects of maintaining a healthy relationship is understanding each other. I feel like that's something that really needs to be really needs to be worked on, because I think men and women, we're so different and we see things so differently that being able to at least just have that understanding of each other makes everything a lot, I don't know, like it just maintains that kind of healthiness to the relationship. What do you feel about?
I thought men are from Mars, women are from Venus, and I thought the great lack that a lot of us have is understanding that men love and think differently to the way that we think and love. And I think an important thing about, maintaining a healthy relationship is understand the way a man conveys love, conveys emotion, conveys the way he feels is going to be completely different to how we as women do it, okay? And and that's a big thing. So if you judge a man on his ability to perform to your emotional capacity, then you're always going to be disappointed. You gotta understand that the way that men are wired and the way that women are wired, like we've said, is very different. So really understanding that the basic elements, men are from Mars, women are from Venus, and understanding what a man's love language is. It's not always going to be a thing. Usually men's love language usually comes, majority, not always, but acts of service, right? You tend to find a lot of men, they might not be open. They might not be open, as in, they might not be sitting there telling you every 2 seconds, oh, I love you, I think you're amazing. Some men aren't into that, those words of affirmation, but they may do things for you. They may want to solve your problems. They may want to help you with particular situations. They want to listen and see where they can add. But I think understanding is a really, really big key. But again, there's understanding men and understanding women, and there's understanding us as individuals.
That's true.
My ideal man versus your ideal man is going to be two completely different people. I'm going to have traits and attributes that one man might not like so much, but another man is going to greatly value. And I think that's the difference. And often in life, we look for a love story, but what we need is a life story, because there's plenty of things that you can have in a love story. You can have the butterflies, which I don't prescribe. The Buddhists say that butterflies, when you meet someone, isn't the best sign. It's a form of anxiety, and that when you meet your soulmate,
when you feel the
you're
butterflies,
peaceful. And that's when I met my partner. It was the same thing. Like when I met him, I was like, oh, peace. There was no anxiety or anything like that, and we both moved towards each other. There was no games, there was do you know what I mean? There was no waiting to see, I'm going to wait and message, I'm going to wait 5 hours to message him, or there was no trying to build any type of jealousy or to make, and I see a lot of women do this as well, which is quite thing is they'll speak to a man and then they'll want to trip his ego, they'll want to make him jealous, they'll be like, make it known, like even by saying or doing or posting little things, like we don't give men a lot of credit for, they'll pick that up, and again, women with our lack of accountability will do things and then not admit to it, because really what they're looking for is that confirmation that man is giving what they're giving, but they don't know how to communicate.
That's very true,
And I think moving on to second is communication.
I like that.
Right? So if we slide into that, communication is key. Communication is everything, but communication, when people aren't planning to comprehend, is people only draw their conclusions from the capacity of what they understand. And that's something we have.
It's hard to kind of understand each other as well, because some people communicate differently.
Yeah.
So how I might understand you, someone else might not really
there's
understand
difference,
you.
And it's really interesting when you look at the different way that humans communicate. There's if you look at the science behind it, there's people that are direct communicators, right? So, and there are people that are sort of impassive communicators, right? So again, sort of learning and understanding how to communicate. And communicating, not just sitting there and being upset about something and letting it bubble up and all in your head and be like do you know what I mean, and not talking about it, or when you do talk about it, exploding it. But one thing me and my partner was talking about recently was we've created a really safe space where it doesn't matter what one of us has to say. We know the other one has the emotional capacity and hold on the ego to, no matter what the other one has to say, to sit down and listen. And one thing, you know, another thing that I think is really important is sometimes as women, you know, we want to overly communicate, but sometimes we need to allow our men space to process what is going on. Okay? Because I guarantee you, sometimes a man can be upset. There might be 100 things going on in his life. It doesn't mean he's mad at his babes, but again, female brain, entitlement, worried all the time. It must always be about me. Ladies, get over yourself. You are not the superstar of your man's movie every single day. You are his co-star, okay? Understand your job is there to be a leading role, not like, you know, the damsel in distress, and that's important.
That's that's real.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to touch on like what you said earlier as well. I think also, you know what we were saying about understanding communication, but I think it's really important as well understanding the type of person that you're like the person you're with. Because I don't know how I'm trying to express myself, but in a way, like sometimes we think we know the person, we might be doing certain things for them, but it's not really what they need. Not really what they, you know.
No, I know exactly what you mean. And that really comes down to sort of getting to know people not on a surface level.
Like
what's important to your partner? What upsets them? What do they fear? What do they worry about the most? What are some, you know, unconscious or, you know, negative, you know, thoughts that they have sometimes? What are their triggers in relationships? What traumas have they been 100%. Through? Like, you know, and this is quite prevalent to talk about. You know, I'm a big advocate, you know, if you get into a partnership and you have had, you know, a past relationship that's caused trauma or caused issues, what you notice that when you go from a toxic relationship to a healthy relationship, that's when your real healing begins. Because
tell me about it.
You start to realize, you start to get triggers, whereas you would have acted a certain way before. Something will happen with your new partner and it will be nothing like it was before, but then you'll start to bring up certain emotions, and then that might make you distrusting, and that's when we allow, and then that's how as women we let our past relationships interfere with our current ones, because instead of understanding and being within that moment, that present moment, understand, okay, I'm triggered here, I'm feeling an emotion, why am I feeling this? Let me speak about it. It's because we sometimes have that, and then it brings us back to that place. And even though that person, they haven't got an intention to hurt you, they're confused because you're acting away now and it's looking all crazy, but it's because of that. So it's important to understand that even when you do get into a healing relationship after being in a toxic one, you are going to continue to be triggered, and it's down to you as an individual to be able to value that and understand it is for what it is, and don't take those particular emotions and run with them and start a whole nother argument with your partner.
It's true. It's actually it's actually so real. I can even like relate to that as well, in a sense of, because I've been doing so much healing over like the past, I'll say, year, but I find something that's quite interesting though, because you can do healing while you're by yourself. And then I feel like there's a next level of healing that happens when you actually get in a relationship with somebody. Like, you know, just touching on what you've actually said. Because most people say, oh, well, why are you in a relationship if you're not healed? But there's a next level of healing that needs to happen. And it can only happen while you're in that relationship. Do you get it?
You could go into a relationship unhealed, but be conscious that you are healing. Be conscious that you're going to be triggered, and allow that relationship to do it in the best purpose, but be open and honest about it with your partner.
Do you think that relationship could continue to stand the test of time? Or do you think it has its purpose?
In what respect do you?
While they're healing.
Within that
relationship.
Yeah, I think every relationship has its purpose. You know, some relationships you go through just to be healed. Some, you know, you continue to be healed and continue to stay with that person for a very long time. I think it just does depend. I think sometimes we meet people. I know in my past, being quite a healing person naturally, I've attracted people to me who have needed a lot of healing, or have had a lot of trauma, or have had a lot of issues and stuff like that, and then actually attracted to me because I bring a level of serenity, but then that's toxic for me at the same time. So I think it depends. I think we meet everyone for a reason. I don't believe in chance encounters. I believe that everyone who we meet on this earth and on this soul plane, we meet for a reason. And I believe every relationship counts. And I feel like whether it's positive or negative, whether it's positive or negative, whether you have an extremely bad experience of a man or a female, that all that does is teach you what you don't want. And when you have an amazing experience, that teaches what you do want. So everything is duality. There's no light without dark. And if we don't have contrast, between good and bad, then how are we supposed to tell the difference, the two apart? So I think like within relationships as well, we need to take that into consideration.
So if you were to like sum it up, what would you say is a healthy way to maintain
a healthy relationship?
Yeah.
A deep understanding of each other, understanding of one's morals and what they really care about, not surface level, and within that finding your compatibility. I think a good comprehension and communication level, but also a dedication from both parties that you will continue to show up every single day and put in what you put in when you first met each other.
Yeah, I believe in that.
And that is what it is. A lot of the time, comfortability eradicates eroticism, and comfortability eradicates, the spark or the magic within a relationship. And I'm not saying don't get comfortable. Of course, get comfortable. Of course,
but not that kind of comfortable.
But not that type of comfortable. I'd say continue to have great sex often. Be very intimate. A lot of sex. And I'm not just
I agree.
A lot of sex. Continue to be intimate, open sexually with your partner. Understand what they need, and especially with men as well, ladies, because I can speak from a female perspective. Is allow your be there for your man to have that emotional outlet too, because when a man goes out into the world, he is expected to be big, strong, whole weight of the world. There's so much expected of him, and I'm not saying ladies are only crying and feminazis crying in the comments at me. Sorry, is what it is. About no, we're not talking about that today. Bring peace, yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? And if you offer that to a man, then he should be offering you the same in return, but in a different way. But it should be equal. It will be like an equal exchange, and that's important. So give as much as you take, and vice versa. And I would say that is and love each other with integrity, honesty, truth, and passion. Don't be scared to talk about the difficult things. Create a space that, your boyfriend or your partner could come and tell you something and not be scared of your reaction. Because when you're scared of reactions, it's not how you work through things. Do you know what I mean? And remember, experience over possession. Like, I said to someone the other day, I was just like, if my boyfriend was to ring me now and say, babe, I'm going on a lad's holiday tomorrow, I would tell him to have a good time. Or if he was to say, babe, I'm gonna do this, or I trust him. If you have a problem with your man living his life that's meant to be separate from you, then you're not in a healthy relationship, because that insecurity will eat away with you, and that just shows that either something's not working between you two, or there needs to be more work on it. But if you're in a position where you can't let them be as free and have a level of detachment, then this relationship is only going to be obsession for you. And we experience people through the eyes of their lens, and it's our ability to partner with and experience them that makes life so beautiful to experience through different people, because we can't all the time. So that, and that's what I'd say.
And I just wanted to add to that as well, and you did kind of touch on it, is I think space as well is really important.
Super important.
Yeah, in a healthy, like to maintain a healthy relationship.
We spoke about this earlier. Yeah, that's the last thing. Space.
Yes, space. No, because everything you touched upon is what I would have touched upon. Yeah. But the one thing that you didn't say was space, and I think that's very important. But you did touch upon it in a sense of
we spoke about it earlier on the I think when we were speaking earlier on the phone.
Did we?
Yeah. We spoke about it. Space. Yeah, but not on the podcast.
Okay.
But space.
Or maybe you just knew what I was thinking.
Maybe.
Who knows? But space.
Leave your man alone sometimes. Give him some space.
100%. Vice versa as well. Yeah. Give your woman space too, because some men are just all up in, just want to know everything. Give your woman space. Have your hobbies. Yeah. Have your stuff. Yeah. I feel like that's really essential.
And that's what makes you more attractive.
Have special guests.
Michael from Removal Company.
Yeah, plug it.
All the time.
So, as we're just discussing, what we feel are ways to maintain a healthy relationship, another thing I want to throw out there is, I think, is really, really important, is something that happens to, I don't want to generalize females because I do love you, but I do feel like it's a female thing more than a male thing. A lot of us can get lost in our partners. Almost we forget about living our own life, and we're more concerned about how they're living their life and all the things that we used to do when we first got with them. And I'm not talking about for them, for ourselves, yeah? All those things that we used to do, we stopped doing, and we're so consumed with our partner. So I think that's another thing that's really important to maintain a healthy relationship. Is just keep doing you. Keep your own. Even though you're with somebody, it doesn't mean you have to live through them.
You know what my thing with relationships are? I think it's trying to get your partner to understand your train of thought. I think is a big no. I think men and women are so different. It's just good to understand like what your girl's trigger points are, like what upsets her and whatever, so that you can try your best to minimize or eliminate doing the things that's going to get the wrong side of her, and that to be vice versa. So like me and my girl would have arguments, and I'll be trying to like explain why I think, and then she'll be like, I just don't understand. That's not how I was thinking, or that's not my intention, or blah, 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 blah. And that is like a constant battle of trying to make her understand how you think, because as a man, we're wired differently to women. So it's easier for you to be like, I just don't like when that happens. Do you know what I'm saying? And then she can just be like, okay, cool, I'll try to make sure that doesn't happen. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that's a big thing. I always say to my bridges when they talk to me about relationships and certain disagreements, I'm like, why are you arguing with your girl about that? Like, she's not a man. She's not going to understand. Just tell her that you just don't like when that happens. Do you know what I'm saying? If it's something that she can stop, or, do you get what I'm saying, something that you can't see, then, do you get what I'm saying, everyone's happy. You don't see it, you're not annoyed, you're not in arguments with her, she's fine, she's cutting through. You know what I'm saying? For me, anyway, I think that's a big thing. Men try too hard to make their woman understand from a man's point of view.
Oh, okay.
Why they feel certain ways.
Or even a female, I guess, isn't it? Tries to make a man understand.
Yeah, so with me, like, if I do something that upsets my girl, I'll be like, do you know what, babe, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And
so you just take account.
Yeah, that's it. And then obviously then from there, I think another thing as well is stop having relationship conversations with your single brethren.
Okay.
So as guys, you'll be there like, oh yeah, she's doing boom, 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 boom. Then your brethren be like, see, this is what I'm saying. That's why you can't do da 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 da. And then before you know it, that gets all up in your head. You come home, you're in a mood now because your brethren have got your back.
Yeah.
And now it's drama. Like, just your girl is your girl, innit? She's gonna have, like Bob Marley had the right saying. Every woman, from your mum's gonna stress you, your sister's gonna stress you, every woman you got close is gonna stress you. Just pick a girl that's worth all the stress, innit? Her good outshines all the bad. Time after time, you're gonna get certain situations where you might not be happy with, but then if 9 times or 8 times out of 10 it's cool when you're at home, you know what I'm saying? That's a good one. For me, anyway. Okay. I just think be realistic. And I think that's another thing that people do, is they look at relationships on social media and they only see all the good things. You see all the holidays, you see all the cute things and the roses and the this and the that and the this, and they don't show you all the dramas and the arguments and the whatever. So when you're going through dramas and arguments, you're thinking, right, this ain't how they're doing it online. You see what I'm saying? When I chat to my brethren, they're saying, right, this is all lit, and we just come back from Venice and and you're there thinking you ain't been on holiday for 9 months or 10 months, but these times your guy's trying to get his business off the ground and you're there too preed on what they're doing over there.
That's another thing, to not focus on what other people are doing, basically.
Yeah, man, you can't, like, while your grass is growing and your grass is getting greener, you're over there on the fence like, what, they're just getting bare green grass.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
But like what you're saying, you don't know.
Turf or not.
You get what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
You get what I'm saying? Some of them's got a filter on their grass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Their grass is dead from a long time. It's old grass.
Yeah, it's true.
You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? You gotta just water your grass.
Amen to
you get what
that
I'm saying?
one.
Pour water on your grass. And I like what you said before about love languages because I always thought that was all cap as well. I just thought that was bullshit.
No, it's important.
Yeah, but then I started to realise when you actually just, like from a man's side, I just think all that love stuff, it's like, oh, you lot are just bare dramatised or whatever.
Because you love differently. The way you express emotion is different. And
Yeah,
that's
because
why
as a
you need
man,
to understand it. Yeah, you show love differently. It's
for
not
me, I'm bare
fluffy.
simple.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So my expectations are kind of short.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? It's very easy to make me happy. I just like the same stuff.
Oh, is it? All the time?
Yeah, I just like the same stuff. If I come home and smell food, I'm in a good mood.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying? I'm bare
Yeah.
easy to, but then when you
You're
understand,
quite simple, like in that sense.
but I think a lot of men are like that as well.
I think so.
Yeah, there's a lot of my
And
girls.
they say that. They
Yeah.
say men are
Yeah.
simple compared
The
to
women
women.
overcomplicate it.
Yes.
We do.
They do, do you
yes.
get what I'm saying? Because and that'll be something that they see their brethren doing, or like their brethren might be like, oh, I done this, and man,
I'm
I
a
really
big
liked
believer
it.
in, yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And then they want to come back. It all comes from a good place,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I didn't need that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
I
didn't
think
need
your
that.
relationship is your own. I'm not even a big fan of discussing problems outside. Like, you know, mine and my man's, if we have any, we don't really, because we're quite good at communicating, but if we have any big issues, I'm not running to my girls and talking our business, because I don't find it, I find it disrespectful to him. You know what I mean? I do genuinely find it disrespectful to him, so anything me and him will deal with, I don't need an outside opinion. I don't mind speaking to my single girls, as long as there's no bitterness around anything, because I believe single people can have a good interpretation sometimes, but also they're not in the relationship, so that's taken into consideration.
I think that's counterproductive.
Yeah.
Me personally, and the reason why is because my mindset. Like, I've been in my relationship coming up to 7 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm steady. My mindset is very, very relationship heavy. So any of my brethren, I'm going to be an advocate of you sorting your relationship out, as opposed to saying like, no, you deserve better. You deserve this. You deserve this. And then when you talk to single people who are not experiencing none of your problems, when you're saying that, oh, yeah, bruv, like, I'm trying to talk to her and she's not listening, and it's like, bruv, this is what I'm saying. You see, like, I don't have none of that stress. Like, bro, look,
right.
they'll be like, look,
You're
right now,
you're
and then obviously all of those things, they're very negative, and then you bring that resentment, like now you're resenting your girl because your brother's not going through the same thing.
Yeah.
So
No,
I
you're
think,
right.
I'm a very big advocate. Just chat to your brothers in relationships if you have to.
Yeah.
Really, truly, I don't talk to no one about my relationships with my girl. I just come home and be like, babe, let's sit down.
I
and
speak
talk.
to my man directly.
Yeah,
We've got
I'll just be
anything
like,
to
let's.
say to my man,
Yeah, I'm like, let's rap. Like, I didn't like boom, 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 or do you get what I'm saying? I'll be like, right, I've noticed that you're in a bit of a mood. Like, what's going on? What's the situation? Let me know what I've done, or da. Just do that with your girl. You know what I'm saying? Girls, I don't think they can help it. They'll just talk to their brothers.
I think it's good to have, like, you know, like what Lydia was saying. I think it's good to have maybe one or two people that you can talk to if you really need to, though. I'm not just talking on it every day. You have a little disagreement, you need to talk about it. But I think it's okay to have one or two. But even still, I agree. Like, it has to be very limited, because the more opinions, the more people, the more energy.
Yeah,
the
It's
more
it's between two people.
Yeah.
And really, like I said, it should just be between you and your partner's problems. Should just be between. And I know women are quite you know, say, oh, we need to talk to our girls. You don't really. Women need to trust their own mind more and trust their man more.
Perspective. This is my thing. Yeah. You can't have a conversation with your girl. Like, if you're my girl, you can't, and you've been my girl for a few years, yeah? You can't talk to your girl about your problems with me because that girl don't know me.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So if you're like, oh, he's just not listening, and you know me.
Yeah.
You know what's going on in my life. You know how I react to certain things. So, for example, if business is going badly, for example, and I'm distracted, and your brother saying, no, but you need to be able to sit down and talk. You know, like, without talking to your brother, you know now's not a good time to talk.
Yeah.
But you see that in your ear, like, you need to talk, he needs to listen, he needs to hear you, he needs to do boom, 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 boom. I can't give you what you need right now if my mind is elsewhere. That's also important.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And I think that's the thing, that's the problems that people have with relationships, because your brother's going to have your back. So your brother's going to fully be like, oh, no, do this, say this, boom, 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 have a conversation, da. If now's not the best time for a conversation, what benefit is that going to do? Especially the type of man that I am.
No, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get what you want from this conversation.
Because you have to wait as well for people to sort of like calm down and not calm down and come to. Sorry guys, I've completely lost my train of thought. You know.
It's because what I'm saying is real rap. That's
No,
why.
it's because of the alcohol. It was real rap. I was listening. It was real rap.
When you're taking it in, you lose your thought.
It was Friends, wasn't it? Yeah, because I was listening to not to listen. You know when you listen to listen.
I got a bit. Taking it in.
Yeah. It was Friends, wasn't it? No, I agree with you because I honestly do. Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like it should be between you and your partner. I think it's massively disrespectful to take your relationship problems and then give it to someone who doesn't understand, like rightly what you said, what your partner's going through. You don't know, like, say for example, no other woman is going to know my man, right? And what he has to deal with every day, what financial responsibilities he has. So it's almost like when you speak to your partners, what you almost do is give them just a tiny snippet, but you don't give them the entire background.
Yeah.
They don't know everything. So the advice that they then go on to give you
biased.
that is biased. Yeah. You're right. Or it's unfounded, and because it's only you that will know, okay, but there's so much context, right? And there's so many, like you said, so many intricate things. Like as a man, you could be going through X, Y, and Z. And I was saying this earlier, which is really important. If my man's upset, I don't assume it's about me. I sort of just let him do what he's doing, and when he's ready, he will come to me and speak to me about it. But it's sometimes we have that lack of space, and I think that's why sometimes women, instead of like, you know, holding the fort, they want to go and talk to their friends. Like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, the reality is I feel like when you have problems with your partner, the reason I don't think it's a great idea to always go and speak to your friends about it is, number one, you're only coming to them. You don't go speak to your friends randomly. I don't know about, but I don't, and be like, oh, and by the way, he did this random good thing today.
Yeah, he's so good. He's so great.
Good. Because we don't need to do that. So instead, every time you're speaking to your friends about them, it's negative, and then that builds this picture of your partner to your friends, which is very different to what the reality is. So then the moment, like you said, you go to your single friends and you said, you know what, my partner really pissed me off today. You know, they said this, like, oh, how many times has he done that? You should just leave him.
Yeah.
And they don't advise you that, look, this is work. You know, things aren't, you know, I'm look, at the end of the day, I do believe relationships are work. However, in my experience, when you choose the right person, it's not that dramatic. You know what you said earlier about every woman is going to stress you, just pick one that's worth the stress. I understand about that, but at the same time, as a woman, I believe what we should bring to our men is peace. And if you don't have the capacity to deliver peace to your man, and that is by not understanding your own ego, not understanding your own insecurities, then you put yourself in a difficult position in your love life. Because if you're able to, like, you know, I'll be honest with you, we could ring my man right now, babe, do I stress you? He wouldn't just be like, oh no, because I'm thinking, but I genuinely don't, because I understand him, I understand his mind, I know his triggers, I know his ups and downs. So me and him don't argue.
Yeah, but your stress might be different. So like every relationship is also different. So you see the things that he might not constitute that as stress, and then more just be like, no, when Lydia's got her head down, this is what she's like. You know what I'm saying? It might not be in his ideal scenario, how you deal with when you're getting your head, like when you got your head down, he might, in an ideal scenario, if he was to write down ideal woman on paper, that one might be a bit different. Do you get what I'm saying? And that might not be what he likes, but it's not enough for him, especially as men. Men don't require as much, generally anyway, obviously every man is different, but generally men don't require that much emotional support. We don't require that much emotional outlet. So for example, like for me, I'm a man where I will take whoever's around me, so whether that's my sisters, my girl, my brethren, whatever, I know what you're like. I'll take your goods with your bads, and that's just you. It's not gonna. I'm not gonna ever talk about it being stressful, it being this, it being that. That's just Lydia. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you used to ask him and say, boom, like, do I stress you? He might be like, no, my girl don't stress me. She's just mad chill. Do you get what I'm saying? She just got her head screwed on. Do you get what I'm saying? When you dig down into it, there might be certain things that he might be like, right, I did. It would be nice if that was a little bit different, or she could maybe multitask on this aspect or
But to be fair, but no, that's very true. But to be, you know, and also to be fair, what I like about just my setup as well is it's safe enough for him to tell me that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to get mad. Like, if my man has a problem or has a little issue or something, we've got a really good, and I think this is important for people, I'm not going to get mad if he disagrees with me, or if he has constructive criticism about something, or if he, likes things to be a certain way. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm the same. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, don't make the bed like that. Make it like this. It's minor. It's little things, but these things matter. The tiniest thing. Like, do you know what I mean? So.
And that's what I'm saying. That's good as well, because you need to be with somebody who like is not like their back isn't up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that, like, when I speak to my brothers with their partners, especially
a lot of people's backs are naturally
up,
up.
especially when it's kind of newish, and it's like, right, is this normal? It's like, right, no, obviously it's. I wouldn't say that that's normal, but what is normal when it comes to relationships?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Maybe, like, for me, again, I'm also a man where we don't need to have a big argument about that. If I say something and you get your back up, I'll be like, just chill. Like, it's not it's not that deep. I just don't like boom, boom, boom. Or when you done that, it made me think this way. Or do you get what I'm saying? Like, but I think like I said,
everyone's different.
Everybody's different.
Yeah.
So another man might be like, right, all I said is boom, 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 and now you're doing da, and now you know what I'm saying? 2 fires make a big fire.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you get
Keeps
what I'm saying?
burning, doesn't it? There's no water.
There has to be somebody there that's got the calm
Someone
side.
has to be water.
That doesn't have to, like, don't make it into a big thing.
No, it's true. That comes down to communication.
Yeah. So back to your question, Seth, where you said, what do you think, like, makes a healthy relationship? For me, I would say understanding your partner, understanding men and women are differently, and also, I think keeping your relationship between you two. I think those are the 3 things that if I was to advise anybody in a relationship, do that. Even, do you know what I think is even a good person to have conversations about relationships with? Just pick one of your eldest family members that's been together for X amount of time, because they will tell you. You know what I'm saying? If I chat to my uncle about him and his wife, he'll tell you, oh, she's not easy, but she's mine. Do you get what I'm saying? And that, like, it's those type of real things. It's like, okay, cool. So when I see you lot doing banter all the time, it's not always like that. It is normal to have your ups and downs, but you need that sometimes from elder people that have been through that, because they've had all the comments. Oh, he's under the thumb. Oh, he's this. She's under wraps, she's this, do you get what I'm saying? They go through all of that and come out the other end. Do you get what I'm saying? A lot of people get those comments, and now it makes them build up like a defense mechanism, and now it's like you want to prove to the world that you're not this way, and do you get what I'm saying? Your chest is all out for no reason, and this is your girl. You know what I'm saying? Your chest don't need to be out for your girl. She already reached you. You know what I'm saying?